Today we're going to be taking a look at a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Let's get started. And this TRD Pro is painted in the 2023 Pro exclusive color Solar Octane. And under the hood, this TRD Pro Tacoma has the 3.5 liter V6. This one in particular has the 6-speed manual transmission, and that's going to get an average of about 18 miles per gallon. We're going to start this overview by going over the exterior, and then later we're going to jump inside and talk about some of the features. So starting off right here in the front of the 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, the first thing that we're going to notice is we have the heritage style front grille right here, where it's going to spell out Toyota letter by letter instead of just having that Toyota circular emblem in the front. You can see kind of also just above that lettering, we have one of our cameras. So this is right here is our front mounted camera. This is going to assist with the 360-degree view, which we'll see later inside. Just underneath the Toyota lettering, we do have our radar right here, which is going to assist with some of the Toyota Safety Sense features. We have a full LED headlight with an LED daytime running light. What's really cool about these headlights is it says TRD right here on the left side, and then if we go over to the right side of the truck, it's going to say Pro. Just underneath those headlights, we have these rigid fog lights. And moving down below under the truck, you can see we have our 1/4-inch TRD skid plate, and then moving off to the sides, you can kind of see the Fox suspension that we have here. And before we talk about wheels and tires, we can get a closer look right here of that suspension. So you can see we have these red springs right here. We even have this red upper control arm right here that does say TRD on it. And now onto wheels and tires. We have these 16-inch black TRD wheels, so they have this nice little center cap right here with a red ring around it. It does say TRD on it. The tire size here is going to be 265/70/16, and these are Goodyear Wrangler tires. Moving up top to the hood here, you can see we have our fake hood scoop right here, which is black, which does really nice contrast here with this Solar Octane color. And then you can see we also have this nice little graphic right here, which has sort of like these little trail lines. It does say TRD Pro. Now this TRD Pro right here is just cutout, so where I'm actually touching right now on the letters, that's actually the paint. So the graphic just kind of lays over on top and has these cutouts. All right, and moving on over to the side of the truck, you can see we have some black badging right here that does spell out Tacoma. Moving up to the side mirror over here, you can see we have a turn signal indicator built in. Also underneath this mirror, we have one of those cameras that are going to assist with the 360-degree view. And we do also have blind spot monitors on these mirrors. You can see also between the windows right here in the front and the back, we do have this little strip of black kind of going from the bottom to the top of the window. It's actually kind of weird that it doesn't carry over kind of going around the window. It's just that little strip of black that just goes from the top to the bottom right there. It does look a little bit out of place. And we do not have keyless entry on this TRD Pro because it is the manual transmission. We actually don't even have a smart key, which I'll get into that later when we jump inside the car, but no smart key, no keyless entry because it is a manual transmission. If you do go for the automatic version of the TRD Pro, then you will have keyless entry. And continuing along the Tacoma over here, we do have our fuel door kind of right here, right where the bed starts. Now, one of my biggest gripes with the Tacoma that I've had for a while is that this fuel door and the fuel cap do not lock. So even if you do lock your Tacoma, this right here is not locked, which does leave for the potential of getting your gas siphoned. And moving further back here, you can see we do have TRD Pro lettering right here, which is kind of carved into the body panel right here, which is a really cool touch. Moving along to the back, you can see we have our tail lights here, nothing too special. Moving on over to the tailgate, we've got some black badging, so it's going to say 4x4 Tacoma TRD Pro back here. We do have our little handle right here to go ahead and open and close this tailgate. It looks like it's locked right now. We also have our reverse camera, and we can go ahead and lock this right here using the key that we have. And just down below all of that, you can see we have some parking sensors. We also have our connections if we're going to be towing for all your lights to work. And then just down below that, we have a 2-inch receiver. Also underneath the Tacoma is going to be the spare tire. There's also a single side exit exhaust right here. It does say TRD on it, and it does also have a black tip. All right, inside the bed now, you can see we have the 5-foot bed right here. Also on the side, there is a little power outlet, and then we also have this little cubby for some storage. All right, let's go ahead and jump inside the TRD Pro Tacoma now. Looks like on the door card, we have some soft touch plastics right over here. And then we also have our window switches. Only the front 2 window switches right here are going to be auto up down. The back 2 window switches are not auto up down. We have our window lock and unlock button, as well as our mirror controls. And just down below that, we have space for 2 water bottles, and then we also have one of our 6 speakers in the interior. Let's go ahead and take a look at these seats. Now, these seats are actually real leather, so they're not Toyota's fake leather. They're not the Softex material. These are real leather. We have TRD Pro right here stitched into the headrest of the driver and the passenger seat. Now, we do also have some red stitching that runs along the seat, and you can see sort of the inner portion has this like grid-like pattern to it. Now, the driver and the passenger seat both are power operated, but only the driver's side is going to get the lumbar support. We've also got some buttons right here before we fully get into the Tacoma. So we've got our traction off, we've got our 360-degree camera, we have our bed lighting, automatic high beams, we have a power control for that power outlet in the bed. We also have a clutch start cancel. Moving just down below that, we have our release for the hood, as well as a TPMS light reset. And of course, down below, we also have 3 pedals because this is the manual transmission. Sitting inside now of the 23 TRD Pro Tacoma, you can see we have this nice leather steering wheel on the sides. It's kind of like a perforated leather, so it's got all these holes in it. And then the top and bottom of the steering wheel is just gonna be regular leather. We have this like square-like airbag right here, and then also we have some buttons. So the right side right here is gonna control the 4-inch screen that we have between our 2 gauges. Then just down below that, we have kind of a favorites button. So if you have a page on that 4-inch screen that you wanna save as a favorite, you can go and just hold this one down and then have that as your favorites page. Just down below that, we have our radar cruise control and our lane keep assist. This right here is actually just an alert. It's not actually going to correct your steering because this is an older version of Toyota Safety Sense. The radar cruise control is actually also not full speed, so it's only going to work up at high speeds. We have our cruise control stock just behind that. If you don't want to use the radar cruise control, you can just use the regular one. To the left side right here, we have some audio and multimedia controls, as well as a phone pickup and end call button. And back behind the steering wheel, we do have automatic headlights on the left side, and to the right side, we have our wiper controls. We do also have a little stick right here sticking out from the gauges, which is going to help us reset our trip. And our gauges have these very large numbers, so it's very easy to read. And like I mentioned, because this is a 6-speed manual TRD Pro Tacoma, it doesn't actually have push button start, which is very, very, very weird. It's strange to me how a manual transmission Toyota Corolla can have a push button start, but you know, an almost $50,000 Tacoma can't have a push button start with its manual transmission. So that's kind of beyond me. And all around this interior here, we have these kind of circular air vents, which we can twist around and turn whichever direction. We can also just kind of shut these very easily. So I really like these vents. Moving over here to our screen, this is an 8-inch touchscreen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but they are both not wired. We do also have standard Bluetooth built in. This is pretty outdated now that Toyota is switching over to their new audio and multimedia system. We're starting to see wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto come to all the Toyotas. Looks like they didn't give it to the Tacomas this year for 2023, so this probably means that we're going to be getting a new updated Tacoma in the next year or 2 here. Moving just down below that, you can see we have heated seats for both the driver and the passenger side on the TRD Pro. We have our emergency lights right here. Over here, we have our transfer case for 2-wheel drive. We can switch between 2-wheel, 4 high, and 4 low. If you want to switch into 4 low, you're just going to have to be in neutral. We do have dual zone climate control right over here, so we can have different temperatures for the driver and the passenger. And then just down below that, we've got a row of buttons right here. So we have an on-off for the blind spot monitors, parking sensors. We can push down right here to kind of slide open the rear glass right there. We can kind of push away that center piece and just open that up for some more airflow. We have a USB right here, which is what you're going to use for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have an on and off button for the wireless charger. The wireless charger is going to be right here behind the shifter. And then we also have a 12-volt power outlet right here. And this right here is the 6-speed manual for the Tacoma TRD Pro. You can see we have just a very normal shift pattern, and then reverse is going to be all the way to the left and up. The shift knob here is sort of a squared pattern. It's actually really good if you've got big hands. And then we do also have some red accents here along the side and along the back of the shift knob. And just like all the other Tacomas, we do have a hand emergency parking brake. We do also have 2 cup holders right here, as well as a little storage pocket. Then just behind that, we have our center console right here, which is pretty small, but we do have a USB Type-C and a USB Type-A down there. We do also have 2 cup holders behind the center console. These are probably going to be used more by the people in the back seats. We also have a pretty large glove box right here. It does have a lock on it, and then also kind of stamped into the glove box, it does say Tacoma right over there. Moving on over to the passenger side door card, pretty much more of the same stuff, minus more of the window switches and the mirror controls. The passenger seat is also powered, no lumbar support again. And the passenger side is going to have a little grab handle right there on the A-pillar, but the driver's side doesn't get one. Moving up top, we have our auto-dimming rear view mirror here. It does have 3 buttons right here, so you can connect to your garage remote, so you can sync up your garage remotes right here to the mirror. We do have a sunglass holder up top over here, emergency SOS button, A-track, so that's the advanced traction control. We have a rear differential locker, controls for the sunroof, and some lighting controls just next to that. You can see the sunroof right here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you guys can see. It's just going to cover the kind of front row right here, so just the driver and passenger side. It's not a panoramic sunroof, so it's not going to stretch all the way out to the back seats. And now moving on over to the back seats, you can see, even though we're in the double cab variant of the Tacoma, again, TRD Pros only come in this double cab variant, even though we're here in the larger variant of the Tacoma, it still does feel a little bit tight in these back seats. Inside that cardboard box right there is just going to be some rubber floor mats that are going to go inside the cabin. You can see also this middle seat right here doesn't fold down for any extra cup holders or anything like that. We do have a light control just up at top right here. And then to fold down these rear seats, you're actually going to have to kind of grab right here between the lower and upper portion of the back seats. You're going to pull this one up right here, and then later you're going to fold down this top portion right here. We do also have a little bit of extra storage right here under the seats. So that's going to do it for this quick overview of the 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this color and if you guys would get this truck. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week.